It's Hispanic Heritage Month. Yay! Es el mes de la herencia hispana. That is longer in Spanish. And that's Juan. Soy Juan. If you've been in school for the past couple of hundreds of years, you know that September 15th through October 15th, it is Hispanic Heritage Month, where we celebrate everything Hispanic, or we don't because no one remembers that it's Hispanic Heritage Month. Unfortunately, this month goes by unnoticed, unscathed by everyone in this country except for me. I am a proud Hispanic from here to my toes that I won't be able to show you, but you trust me there. And so this week, and for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the most important contributions that Latinos have brought into your life or into your society, believe it or not. I want to say that this video is in tribute to Representative of Iowa, Steve King. I'm not good with names, but it's around there. We're going to say Representative King from Iowa, who was asking during the Republican National Convention to please elaborate on what subgroups have contributed most to society than whites. This one's for you. We're going to start from the beginning. As we all know, all Latinos didn't miraculously just appear. The three major civilizations that basically created the Latinos are the Aztecs, the Mayans, and the Incas. And, oh yeah, the Spanish conquistadors who raped and murdered our women and men. Yeah, them too. So we're all the combination and the mix of the rape of the Mayan, Aztec, and Incan women with the Spanish conquistadors. And that's why we speak Spanish. First, I want to say, yes, I know that Latino food and Hispanic food is amazing. Trust me, I eat it every day. And that our music is popping. We dance to it at all our parties, yes. But there is a lot more to the Latino culture than meets the eye. We're not just people that eat great and dance great. We're also very, very smart and not primitive. Did you know that the Incas were one of the first to start using roads, bridges, and a courier system during their civilization to get messages to one another, to get crops from one place to another, since the Incas had a huge and vast reach of communities? Did you know? Well, now you know. Thanks to the Aztecs, the idea of everyone having to go to school is because of them. They started the mandatory education. Back in those days, in European countries or European nations, only people from the upper class or people who had money to send their kids to school were able to go to school. Everyone else just worked. But the Aztecs didn't care. Education was so important to them that it became mandatory for everyone to get an education. I didn't say everything was good. Did you also know that the reason that you freeze your food comes from the Incas? They were the ones who came up with the idea to freeze dry food so that it could last longer. Go ahead, Incas. Thank you very much. That works out well for me. If you love going on road trips, but get that sense, that you have to eat or pee along the way and you have to stop, you have to thank the Aztecs. They were the ones who first created rest stops so that when people were traveling back and forth delivering crops or delivering anything, they were able to rest somewhere overnight and sleep and also use the bathroom and eat. Did you know that? Well, now you know. The Mayans, or how I like to call them, my people, were one of the first at the same time as the Indians to come up with the value for zero. Now I know what you mean. Zero is zero, it means nothing. But no one knew that until the Mayans and the Indians figured it out at the same time, independently. Good job, you two. The Mayans were also known for astronomy. They were basically the founders of the astronomy in their way of thinking and in the way they see the stars. They really used the sun for to see what time it was or what type of year it was to begin crop and all that stuff, because we didn't have a calendar until the Mayans. began the calendar, and it's actually one of the most accurate calendars, more accurate than the Gregorian calendar that we use. And they were the ones who discovered that a solar year is a little bit more than 365 days. So thank you to the Mayans. We know everything we know now about the year and the solar year and how long it is and the seasons, thanks to the Mayan calendar. Fun fact, the Mayan calendar is also one of the most mysterious calendars because everyone tries to figure out exactly when the world's gonna end by that calendar. Everyone tries to decipher what exactly it means when a calendar stops and starts all over. Now, I know what you're thinking, Juan, that was tens of thousands of years ago. What have Hispanics done now? Well, shut up and listen. Do you happen to know who Guillermo González Camarena is? Well, if you don't, you should, because you have him in your bedroom every night. He was the first man patented with a color TV, and he is from Mexico. So Mexicans were the first basically to have a color TV. That's modern enough for you? Not to take away from everything that the civil rights movement did in the 60s to desegregate schools during that time. But the Chicano movement had already started and completed the desegregation of schools in California in the 40s, with a historic case of Mendez versus Westminster that desegregated schools in California if they were segregated by race, religion, or by where they come from or what language they speak. So we were fighting all along. We were fighting all along for our rights, and unfortunately, we still are. You guys know about the rover Mars robots that landed on Mars a couple years back and, explored the planet, and we learned so much from it. Well, Orlando Figueroa, a Puerto Rican, was the head of that project of both and the two most successful Mars rovers explorations that we have seen in the last couple of years. So, good job for you, Orlando Figueroa. So besides food and music, Latinos have contributed so much to society, not only American society, but to the world society. Thanks to them, we have a calendar. We have the solar, we know the solar year. We know what zero is. We have color TV. We have desegregated schools. So to say otherwise, that any group hasn't contributed as much as another group is bull. I hope you learned a lot this episode of That's Juan, because I sure did researching it. And make sure you come back next week as we learn more contributions of Latino and Hispanic culture in the United States. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And then again, like I said, come back next week, and then come back the week after that, and the next week, 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 and the next week. I'll see you guys.